Move from captivity to freedom. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, how can I attain satisfaction in my life? Sometimes people think that means happiness. I'll show you how. Get ready. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've actually been a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist now for more than 48 years. But in that process, I have helped thousands of people, families, parents, grandparents, to be able to not only control and manage their financial assets, but the greatest assets that they value, that they possess on this earth. And that's the relationships, their health, their children, their grandchildren, their faith, their beliefs. And many times I find that people are in captivity and they don't realize what's causing this unsatisfaction with life, where they feel like that they're not happy, and it's because they do not understand that happiness comes from within, not from external things. So let me frame this for you so that you can understand a little bit about where I'm coming from. And I'm going to go over to a screen to illustrate what I'm talking about. So in mentoring a lot of adults, and my wife and I mentor troubled youth, I find that many times we are trapped in this captivity box over here, always needing, and we see ourselves throughout our lifetime as being here in the present moment, and we can't wait till we get there, okay, whatever there is. When we're young and we're in kindergarten, we can't wait till we get there in first grade, and we can get school lunch, and then we get there and we have about 3 school lunches, and we go, what was that about? And then we can't wait till we're the king of the elementary school in, let's say, 6th grade. And then, have you ever noticed we go through these cycles of getting demoted? And so now we're the peon looking for our locker in middle school or junior high or whatever. And we can't wait till we're the king of that school. And we get there and we get demoted, and pretty soon you're the freshman or sophomore in high school. And oh, God, I can't wait till I get there and I get to be a senior. I get to graduate. Then I'll know everything. Yeah, I was a speaker, which I've often been for high school graduates, when many times they get these scholarships, entrepreneurial scholarships, and I'll come and talk about how to take their $1,000 scholarship and turn it into $1 million by learning how to be an entrepreneur. And that's their seed money in less than 10 years. I've helped many teenagers take $1,000 and become millionaires and multimillionaires within 10 years. That's another subject, but I remember the last time I was talking to them at a banquet with their parents. And, at graduation, they all throw their cap in the air. We're there! Okay, yeah, we made it. We know everything. Well, I can assure you about 3 months later, they're on some college campus like this. And then I can't wait till I get there. I get to graduate. Then they graduate. They thought they were going to be happy when they finally got there and they graduated. Well, then I can't wait till I get a job. No, I can't wait till I get a better job. I can't wait till I turn in this clunker for a Tesla. And then they want a home and a bigger home and a motor home and a boat and jet skis. And it's like they're going to be happy when they finally get there. So if you haven't discovered this yet, here's the difference. The secret to happiness, contentment, satisfaction is being grateful and happy for wherever you are at in your life, okay? So I teach it this way. I will put a big triangle, a pyramid, and I'll say, you know what? Out of all the people who have lived on planet Earth, now I'll just use numbers for an example here. As of the recording of this, about 7.6 billion people, maybe a few more, a few less, currently live on planet Earth. Now, it's been estimated that there's been maybe 70, 80 billion people live on the Earth since Adam and Eve. I don't know. But let's just use those numbers to play with this. So out of all of the people on Earth today, or all those who have ever lived on planet Earth, do you know that most of those people, the vast majority, would look at you and me and our lifestyles and our indoor plumbing? I mean, the pharaohs of Egypt would have given their eye teeth for a flush toilet, okay? And yet I travel all over this country and I see responsible adults throwing tantrums because the Wi-Fi goes out on the plane while they're going 550 miles an hour through the air. and they're complaining about Wi-Fi going out for 10 minutes. I see kids in America get so frustrated and lose their temper, they have a tantrum because they can't figure out how to open their second bag of Cheetos because their hands are just too greasy from their first bag of Cheetos. Do you know there's a lot of children on this planet that have never had a bag of Cheetos? Most of us are already there. Most people on this planet would look at you and me and say, what do you have anything to complain about? You're already there. Because we're in the top 0.1% of humanity, ever. So you have to get in the proper perspective. So happiness should not be contingent on some future result. Is the drama in life more important than being happy where you're at? So how do we teach this to our children? First of all, we are happy because of what we are, not because of what we have. Happiness comes from producing values, not consuming values. Unfortunately, a lot of people choose to go deep into shallow things like Facebook, Twitter, and so forth, social media. And then the person that they thought had such a wonderful life all of a sudden reveals the truth that their life sucks too, and it destroys their whole image. They worship people or things. Sometimes the opposite is true, where people go shallow into the deep, eternal, life-changing things. They don't want to go there. Oftentimes, and I've said this on several different episodes on this channel, and by the way, if this is resonating with you, I would recommend you subscribe. This is Three-Dimensional Wealth. It's free, of course. And click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a video, which I do almost on a daily basis. It's free. And click like and share with others. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to show you how to get a free copy of my book, Entitlement, Abolition, that teaches this very concept. So there's a lot of times people think that happiness comes from the accumulation of things. And it doesn't matter how many things they get, they're still not happy. You can tell these people that they're always talking about their things. We have the people worshipers who are always looking on Twitter and Facebook, and I wonder what Miley Cyrus is doing these days, or Justin Bieber, or whatever. It's athletes, movie stars, rock stars, but they live their lives through other people. But this is the most dangerous group, and that's the thought worshipers, because they latch on to cliches, maybe like, well, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't true. I'm not going to pay attention to that. They get into these thoughts, well, I'm dumb, I'm stupid. You can't believe how many times I've heard youth tell me that. And I say, why do you think that? Well, they always say, well, how come you're so stupid? And so pretty soon they begin to believe it. So these thought worshipers can get into trouble. And whenever you're looking for satisfaction or contentment through these, it wears off. And frankly, that's why drugs, alcohol, pornography, shopping, sugar, eating, any addiction, it's usually to escape, because these things are not providing the satisfaction or happiness. And of course, those things wear off, and then you have to come back for more and more. And so that's why I've taught these youth how to be able to get on natural highs by having endorphins released from their pituitary gland in their brain, by getting on a high in life naturally, by getting on win streaks. Be sure and search for that episode on how to get on a win streak in life. But this requires you rethink your thinking. So let me give you an example of this. What I love doing for those I care about is helping them understand, hey, we're already blessed. We're already there. We have freedoms. In this country, America, we have freedoms that most people have never enjoyed. And so what you want is more freedom and abundance, instead of always saying, I need this, I need that. There are 4 freedoms that I teach my kids and grandkids don't ever take for granted. Are you ready? The first freedom is time. Do you know that there's a lot of people who have lived on planet Earth and live on planet Earth today that do not have freedom of governing their own time? Don't take that lightly. I can use my time as I see fit. I'm grateful for that freedom. Don't take it for granted. The next freedom is money. Now, when I talk about money, it's about being self-reliant, to go out and create value in the world and be compensated, okay? And you don't have to work 24/7 to be able to have what you need, food, clothing, shelter, and so forth. And if you want to work harder and go out and risk more, you can be compensated more. But see, it's freedom to be able to go out and become self-reliant and provide value in the world and be compensated. Freedom, time, money. The next freedom is purpose. You wouldn't believe how many people who have lived on planet Earth that have not had the freedom to determine their own purpose. Somebody else told them what their purpose was. To be able to get up every Monday morning and determine my purpose for that day, for that week. Do not take lightly the freedom of purpose, defining your purpose. And freedom of relationships, to choose who you hang out with. There's a lot of people on this planet that don't get to choose who they surround themselves with. That's chosen for them, and they're stuck. What I do is teach my kids and grandkids. We have family vacations with a purpose. We have an annual grandpa's camp where the 12-year-old and olders come for the first 4 days, and then the 4 and 8-year-olds up to 12-year-olds come and join them for the next 3 days. It's the favorite week of the year. This is one of the things that I teach every single year. You want to understand we are already blessed. We're already there. And appreciate the freedoms of time, money, purpose, and relationships. And every one of them begins to think about how they can create value in the world. And that gives them self-esteem instead of being takers. See, there's givers and takers, but if you haven't figured this out, life gives to the givers and takes from the takers. And so remember that instead of always wanting being in this captivity of thinking you're going to be happy, content, I'll finally be satisfied when I get there. No, the secret is being happy and satisfied wherever you are at, realizing how blessed you are because you're already there, and then harness the 4 freedoms of time, money, purpose, and relationships. And you will become self-reliant. You will create value in the world, and the world loves usefulness, and they will compensate you in more than just monetary ways. So let me show you how you can claim your free copy of my book, Entitlement, Abolition. Claim your free copy of this 200-page book. It's book number 10 of 12 that I've authored so far. It's one of my favorite because it teaches you how to lead your family from me to we. Together we're better. It's concepts like this that I am passionate about. You simply go to entitlementabolitionbook.com, click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost. I'll fire out a copy to you. There's also options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. I even recorded an 18-hour masterclass, a deep dive into these principles, because this is about you and your brighter future, and you can obtain happiness that comes from within.